Welcome to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show, a real estate investment program. Listen and learn how to use real estate to build wealth and passive income streams for you and your family. We bring you experts every day to discuss and answer your questions on everything from single-family homes all the way up to 600-plus unit apartment complexes. And now, the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Welcome to the show. My name is Al Gordon, and as always, we're working on your financial freedom. And I'm going to use the term we're today, even though I don't have anybody on the show with me. The reason I'm going to use the term we're is because I'm going to talk about Lifestyles Unlimited members. For the entire show, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get me talking about my peers in Lifestyles Unlimited, because I want you to understand that everything that we do, we just don't do it because it's like, oh, let's go do that. No, there is a specific purpose to everything that we do. And that specific purpose is dialed right back in to the roadmap that Del Walmsley created for us 31 years ago. I am here to tell you that as a Lifestyles Unlimited member, I was able to completely change the trajectory of my retirement. I mean, 180-degree turn. Want to know how I did it? Well, I became a member of Lifestyles Unlimited a little over 4 years ago. And I went to work understanding the information that was being taught to me, because that's the most important thing that Lifestyles Unlimited does for its members. It's an education source. Yes, Lifestyles Unlimited is designed to teach you how to correctly invest in real estate. Yeah, it's not, we'll give you a couple things, you try them out and see how they work out. No, it is a very well-rounded and finely defined roadmap that we follow. Now, the roadmap itself, well, it's kind of like a normal map. It really is. I mean, remember back in the days when we had paper maps, before Google Maps and all those other things, all those electronic things? Remember when you looked at the map and the map would generate information? It's not like it, started generating information instantaneously. That's not where I'm going. All of that information had been imprinted upon that map. So what would you do? You would open up the map book, you would go to the area that you're looking for, and you would focus on that particular map, because that map is going to give you information about how you get from where you are now to where you're trying to go. And it's the same way at Lifestyles Unlimited. I'm here to tell you, it's the exact same way. We literally have a roadmap that we can turn to, and we can literally thumb through, so to speak, so that we can find the correct location that we're trying to get to. And then we just use that map to create the route. It's kind of the same thing. So today, I'm just going to stop talking about me and the fact that 4 years ago, I joined Lifestyles Unlimited. 2 years ago, I achieved that magical retirement status. In other words, I had enough income coming from passive sources that it exceeded my bills. It did. Once I realized that happened, I was retired. And I've been working on building up the lifestyle ever since. It's actually a pretty cool journey. Now, I happen to know that last week, Andy Webb was sharing some information with you. And Andy's perspective, well, he was talking about inflation. I mean, he was actually kind of following on to the information that I shared with you last week, because I was talking about inflation a little bit too. And, Andy gets his information from different sources than I do. I mean, we know that because we actually talk to each other from time to time. But the information that Andy found was commensurate with the information that I found. And when we evaluated the information, we determined pretty much the same thing, that inflation rates are continuing to rise. As a matter of fact, Andy pointed out that in October, there was a 6.2% increase in inflation as it was measured by the United States government. And he also pointed out something that I didn't, which might be important to you. The United States household debt, well, it keeps climbing. it keeps setting new records too. It's actually at $15.24 trillion. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, if you want to hear Andy's perspective on inflation, if you missed last Friday's show, not a problem. Go to lifestylesunlimited.com. When you get there, you're going to have an opportunity to sign up for a free workshop. If you haven't done that, go ahead and do that. But what I want you to do is I want you to go to the radio tab. And when you click on the radio tab, what you're going to see is all of our radio programs podcasted. You heard me correctly. All these shows that we do, we have people that do whatever they do with the audio tapes, and they turn it into a podcast that you can enjoy. So if you miss us live Monday through Friday, it's not a problem. Just go to Lifestyles Unlimited, go to the radio tab. All of our shows are there. You might have to give us a day or two to get caught up, but I promise you, all that information will be there. Yesterday, Mike Harrison was sharing with you some very important information. He was. He was talking about how he is currently invested in 5 different multifamily apartment communities. And he has a goal. He has a goal to get into a 6th deal before the end of the year. And what Mike was doing was he was basically sharing his journey along the roadmap. That's exactly what he was doing. He was also sharing with you the how. You heard me correctly, the how. Yeah, see, Mike was actually talking you through the process that he uses in order to evaluate a deal and determine whether or not that deal is going to work for what he's attempting to accomplish. And, he went deep. He went deep. He started breaking out the spreadsheet for you. He started talking about metrics. Yeah, and that's what Mike brings to the table. He brings a lot of good information to the table, which I'm excited for you guys to hear. What we're going to do now, besides going to break, we're going to get into something called case study. What is that? What is case study, you might ask? Well, case study is an event that allows you to learn a whole lot of stuff, and you don't have to be a member to attend. I'll tell you more when we come back.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Now, let's get back to your map to financial freedom.
Welcome back to the show. All right, here's what I'm going to do for you. The first thing I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to give you a phone number. Yeah, I'm going to give you a phone number. Now, that phone number is not going to reach me. It will not reach me. I don't have the other end of that phone number. But the people that do have the other end of the phone number are people you're going to want to talk to. These are members of Lifestyles Unlimited. They're a part of the team. They work with our members in what we call the Financial Freedom Program. That's the program that everybody who becomes a member of Lifestyles Unlimited joins. And as part of that membership, we have a team of investors that are available to you to assist you with making sure you fully understand all of the educational content that we share with you. Yeah. Now, we do a pretty good job of making that content easy to understand, but I'll be honest with you. Some of the content, no matter how easy we make it, can be a little bit like, what did he just say? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's part of the reason that we have a team of legitimate investors that are doing the same thing you're trying to do, available to assist you with making sure that stuff is all dialed in. So just to give you an example, let's say you went through the section of the training where we talk about insurance and why you need insurance and what type of insurance products are appropriate to you as an investor, that type of thing. Okay, so you've got your financial freedom workbook and you're writing all this stuff down, and maybe you just made a mistake. Maybe you wrote something down correctly, or maybe you just didn't write everything down that you heard and you intended to, but something happens. I mean, does that happen to you? It happens to me. Okay, so let's say the training's all over. Let's say it's, I don't know, Thursday of all days, right? Okay, today's Thursday. And let's say you're trying to work on a project of yours and you're trying to figure out all the insurance products that you need for this particular investment. And your notes are a little scratchy or something's not quite there. You know you're missing something. So what do? Well, you pick up the phone and you talk to our member services folks. And you go, hey, man, I wrote down like 5 things for insurance, but I think there were 6 things I needed to consider. What do you think? And you know what? You're talking to somebody who's gone through the exact same educational process you have. As a matter of fact, they have most likely applied all those insurance products to the properties that they own. So you're talking to somebody that understands exactly what you're trying to understand yourself. There's a huge benefit to doing that. A huge benefit. So let me give you that phone number. The number is 866-945-6565. Okay, once again, that number is 866-945-6565. Now you're probably wondering, okay, you give me the number, now what? What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, during the course of the day, call that number. Call that number. You're going to talk to one of those live real estate investors. And when you get them on the phone, just say, hey, I was listening to Al on the radio, and he recommended that I attend tonight's case study event. And what they're going to do is they're going to take a little bit of information from you, and they're going to get you signed up. And you're going to be able to attend case study. Now, this particular case study is going to be in the greater San Antonio market. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, all right, man, I don't live anywhere near San Antonio, and I'm certainly not going to drive 3 or 4 hours to get there to attend your case study event. Not a problem. I actually have a couple of options for you. Option number 1, go to the location closest to you. You see, we offer these case studies in multiple locations. The one tonight just happens to be in San Antonio. But if you decide that you want to attend live and San Antonio is not close to you, talk to the person on the phone and say, hey, I live in Houston. You got anything here? They'll get you hooked up. Yeah. The other option is you attend virtually. That's correct. You attend virtually. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to be in front of some type of electronic device that has access to the internet. You can attend the case study on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone, however you like to attend those types of events. And believe it or not, it is still interactive. You can still interact with the instructors. You can interact with the people presenting you information. It is a beautiful event. And here's the neat thing. You don't have to be a member of Lifestyles Unlimited to attend our case study event. It's the one event that we have that is a members-only event. But that particular event, we as members are allowed to invite anybody and everybody to attend that event. It's pretty cool. It gives us an opportunity to show our friends and family that, number 1, we're not nuts. This stuff actually works. And number 2, it gives you an opportunity to kind of test drive what we do, to get a feel for what we do. And you're going to have the opportunity to see our members in action. You're going to have the opportunity to see our members talk about deals that they've recently completed. You're probably wondering, okay, so let's say I do this. Let's say I call that 866-945-6565 number. And I talk to one of those live real estate investors and I say, hey, Al told me to call and can you sign me up for the case study? What am I going to see? Well, the first thing you're going to experience is probably me. Yeah, you'll actually see me because I was asked to do the introduction for tonight's case study. And I went, heck yeah, I would love to do that because it gives me an opportunity to share with other people. And the other cool thing about it is I'm going to be at the San Antonio office. I'm going to be networking with all of my friends and all of my peers that are Lifestyles Unlimited members that live in and around the San Antonio area. So you'll actually have an opportunity to see what I look like. Having said all this, I think it's very important to point out that if you attend the case study tonight, it's not to see me or hear me. No, it's really not. I'm just going to give you one over the world as to what we do. I'm going to tell you about how we organize our program, how it's going to benefit you. And then, to be honest with you, we're just going to get going with the presentation. We're going to bring up some of our vendors that are in that particular area. They're going to introduce themselves so that you can see that, yeah, they're actually live people that are a part of our vendor program, which is a very important element to building your real estate investing business. I mean, it's great to connect with contractors, vendors, if you will, that have a desire to work with real estate investors. Not everybody out there that provides services for our industry, they want to work with, no, they don't necessarily want to work with real estate investors. So we eliminate those people. You don't want to work with investors, not a problem. Don't be a part of our vendor program. Having said all of that, I am super excited to give you some information about Caesar. Now, Caesar, I'll tell you what, he's changing his life. When we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you how he's doing it. Stick around.
Warning, listening to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show will change your life. We will teach you how to create wealth and passive income so you can be financially free. And now, back to your host.
Welcome back to the show. All right, let's get into Caesar's story because you're actually going to hear from Caesar. Now, Caesar is one of these guys that was doing everything that society told him to do. Exactly what society told me to do and exactly what society has probably told you to do. Yeah, just go to school, get good grades, get into the workforce, work, spend, and the next thing you know, you're at retirement. Except along that path, a lot of us go, this ain't working. This isn't working. And Caesar's one of those guys that said, dude, this ain't working. So let me tell you about Caesar's background. He is actually an employee in corporate America, and he is in the financial services business. That's correct. He's in the financial services business. So what does that mean? Well, I'm not going to tell you everything about Caesar. I want you to attend the case study tonight. I want you to call 866-945-6565. Tell the investor that you're talking to that you heard me on the radio. Again, my name is Al, and you want to be a part of case study as my guest, and they'll get you hooked up. And then you'll have an opportunity to get Caesar's background. He is proudly married to Laura, and together they have a beautiful family. Now, Laura is a stay-at-home mom. I think that is the most difficult job in the world. And the reason I think it's the most difficult job in the world is because my wife did that job, and I got to see her do that job. You know, it's a pretty tough job being a stay-at-home mom. But let's talk about what they're doing to change the path of their life, what they're doing to get to a place of retirement. They currently own 3 single-family properties that they bought after becoming members of Lifestyles Unlimited about 10 months ago. See, they heard about Lifestyles Unlimited from a friend who happened to be a member. And that person said, you really need to go check this out. You really need to go see what this has the potential to do for your life. So they did. They joined. And since then, they've purchased a total of 3 rental properties. Now, let me just tell you what these 3 properties are doing for them. Collectively, it's generating an income stream of over $15,000 a year in passive income. And by the way, that income is protected against taxation because of the fact that they have the opportunity and really the requirement, because the IRS requires you to do this, to take depreciation write-offs on your investment. And those depreciation write-offs offset any taxes that you would earn, or I should say pay, as you earned income on the property. It's a beautiful thing. Here's the other thing they've done, and I think this is just phenomenal. They have captured over $166,000 of equity. You heard me correctly, $166,000 of equity in those 3 properties. Do you think that's a game changer for them? Well, I think it is, Because, to be honest with you, could you use a $15,000 injection of cash every year into your household budget? It's very possible you could use that. The other thing is, what if you could add $166,000 to your bottom line? Yeah, their wealth has just increased by $166,000. And the beautiful thing about that $166,000 is that's equity that's just sitting there that they can utilize to get into their next investments. At tonight's case study, what they're going to do is they're going to share one of the deals that they've recently completed. It's a single-family home, and this particular property is actually producing $357 a month in cash flow. So $357 a month, when annualized, turns out to be a little over almost $4,300 a year in income. Here's the other thing. In this particular deal, they captured over $62,000 of equity in this particular deal. Their cash-on-cash return, in other words, when you take that almost $43,000 that they're making annually on this property, and you take a look at how much money they put into the deal, they are achieving a 38.4% return on investment just on the cash on cash. We're not even talking about the returns yet on the equity capture. So when you tune in tonight, they're going to lay all this stuff out for you. They're going to show you all the numbers. They're going to break it all down for you. And you're going to walk away understanding how this particular property is fitting into their goals and objectives and helping them to achieve retirement in the next 5 years. I mean, think about it. Knowing that the investments they're making today will pay for their dream lifestyle in the not too distant future. I mean, think about it, man. Their goal right now is to hold for another 2 years. That's their goal. And then reinvest the returns in a multifamily because they understand the concept of economies of scale, and they're living it. They're totally living it. All right, let me tell you about Adam. Now, he's a younger guy. Okay, just about everybody's a younger guy compared to me. I'm 57 years of age. But trust me, there are still some people that consider me a younger guy. Adam's a younger guy. I think he's in his maybe in his 30s, to be honest with you. And he found Lifestyles Unlimited while searching through the internet trying to find real estate investing podcasts. And he stumbled across our podcast and he started listening. He started to realize very quickly that there were way too many variables regarding his family's financial future. And those variables were all outside his sphere of influence or his ability to control them. So what did Adam do? Well, he and his beautiful wife decided to eliminate the uncertainty, and they became members of Lifestyles Unlimited because they understood what we do. We showed them how we do business. They said, we can do that too. And we said, you certainly can, and we're going to help you along the way. So what is Adam doing? Well, he's going to be a case study tonight. And he's going to talk about a single-family property that is currently cash flowing $592 a month. You heard me correctly. That's $592 a month in passive income. You're probably wondering, okay, well, what's that annualized? All right, so annualized, that works out to be a little over $7,100 per year. Adam gave himself a $7,100 a year raise. Oh, and by the way, that raise is, for the most part, tax-free because the depreciation write-offs he's taking on the property are offsetting the tax liability that he would normally endure on the property. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you guys, it's a beautiful thing. All right, here's some more of the good stuff. Not only is he getting a 29.35% return on investment just on the cash on cash, he also captured just shy of $30,000 of equity in this particular property. So he's making almost 30% return on his money, and his wealth grew by $30,000 just by acquiring this property. Now think about it. What would you do if you were in their particular situation? Well, here's what they did. And they're going to share some of this with you tonight at the case study. Again, 866-945-6565. Whoever you talk to, just tell them, hey, I heard Al on the radio. He said, sign me up for case study, and just find out if tonight's works for you or if there's another one that works better for you. I don't care which one you attend. The bottom line is this. The location doesn't matter. What really matters is the fact that you attend and you start to listen. Okay. Wow. There's the music going. I guess I'm going to have to delay telling you how they did this. But it's got something to do with dead equity? Oh, yeah. Dead equity is not your friend. When we come back from the break, I'll break it down. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. It's time to turn up the volume and fine-tune your passive income plan so you can create the lifestyle you've always wanted.
Welcome back to the show. All right, so let's get into the background on what Adam's up to, because I will tell you that this property that he's going to talk about tonight at the case study, yeah, this is not the only deal he's done. As a matter of fact, what Adam decided to do was he turned to his principal residence and he realized that there was a lot of dead equity in that particular property. So you're asking the question, what is that? What is that dead equity in the property? Okay, here's how it works. So I don't know Adam's particular numbers, so I'm just going to give you a generalization because I just want you to understand. If you have a property, let's just say the fair market value of that property, if you sold it today, is $100,000. Let's say you have a loan on that property that you took out a while ago. And while that property has been going up in value, the loan has actually been paying down. And maybe in today's particular day, you only owe $40,000 on that property. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, all right, well that means there's $60,000 of equity in the property. That's good, right? Well, that is good. There's nothing wrong with having equity in the property. The point is this: when equity sits in a property, it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. It may provide for you a warm, fuzzy feeling of a protection in case things go wonky in the economy. I mean, that's, some people look at equity as that shock absorber in case the world goes bananas on us, right? Okay, well, we just kind of went through a period where the world went bananas on us, and it's still going bananas on us. Okay, so here's the point I want to make. If you have $60,000 sitting in that particular property, my made-up property, it's not doing anything for you. In the state of Texas, you are allowed by law to put up to 80% leverage on a property. In other words, you could take out a loan up to 80% of the value. If you're a veteran and you're eligible for VA benefits and you're eligible for the VA entitlement for a home purchase, you can actually go 100%. But my point is this. Let's say you've got a property that's got $60,000 of equity in it. If you're in Texas, you can't go higher than 80%, meaning you could pull potentially $40,000 out of that property. And with that $40,000, you can start making some investments. You can start buying other real estate. Well, that's what Adam did. Yeah, he was looking at his principal residence, and he was realizing that there was a lot of value in the property and a lot of dead equity. So he and his wife said, you know what? Let's do something about that. They tapped into the dead equity. They pulled out that money. Yes, you heard me correctly. They went and did what some of you think is crazy. They went and tapped into the equity in their principal residence. And what did they do with it? Well, here's what they did with it. They went out and bought single-family houses. As a matter of fact, they went on a buying spree. They did. They bought 6 single-family houses in the last 7 months. during the pandemic. Yeah. While everybody was worried about the pandemic, Adam was getting busy. Here's where they're currently at. They currently have one property under contract. They have two that are currently under rehab. They're projecting a collective monthly cash flow of about $3,100, almost $3,200 a month. You heard me correctly, almost $3,200 a month. And their total equity capture in these properties, $235,000. Yeah, that's almost $250,000 in equity in these properties. Now, if you compare that to what they started with, I would tell you they're in a really good place. Now, I'm not going to give you all the fundamental numbers because for two reasons. One, I think you need to go to case study tonight and see what they're doing, because this might be an opportunity for you to understand that somebody else has actually done this before and that you too could join, go through the education, and you could do the same thing. As a matter of fact, you could actually make friends with Adam, and I guarantee he will share with you how he did everything. So where are they at? What's Adam currently doing? All right. He has a goal to have 10 single-family rentals by summer of next year. That's correct, by summer of next year. And he plans to double that number. He wants to get to 20 houses by the summer of 2023. Yeah, because they've done the math, and they know, based on all the fundamentals, based on the results they're getting, their number is 20 single-family houses. So why that number? Well, that's the number they need to be completely real estate retired. Completely real estate retired. Pretty good goal. And I'll tell you what, that goal is not too far away from occurring. And here's the beautiful thing. He's got a game plan that's going to work for him. If Adam were here, Adam would tell you this. He would say, find a way to scrape together enough funds to start as soon as possible. Pretend your life depends on it, because the quality of your life pretty much does. The power of time can be an incredible asset or liability, depending on how soon you start. Yeah, that's what Adam told me. And vicariously, I told you too. Let's do this. Let's jump into the multifamily space, because there's somebody that is going to present tonight in the multifamily space. And when Hannah comes on to the stage, you're going to look at Hannah and you're going to go, is she even out of high school? And I'm not being facetious. I'm not picking on Hannah. She's young. I think she's in her 20s. I really do. She is a very intelligent, gifted woman who is putting the roadmap to use. She is investing in multifamily properties. As a matter of fact, let me just give you some background on her. So Hannah started working for a property management team 4 years ago, about the same time that I joined Lifestyles Unlimited. And that particular management team just happened to be owned and operated by some fellow Lifestyles Unlimited members. So she went to work for Lifestyles Unlimited members. And then as she was working for them, she learned more about what they do and how they do it. And she realized that she wanted to be part of it. So she became a member herself. Yeah, you heard me correctly. So here's what Hannah's doing tonight. She's going to present her very first multifamily property that she purchased as a lead investor. Now, in the Lifestyles Unlimited community, a lead investor is just somebody that goes out and finds great real estate deals and makes them available to other Lifestyles Unlimited members to invest with them. I mean, that's how I do the majority of my investing. And here's the beauty of it. She purchased a 66-unit apartment community in 2020. Yeah, in the height of the pandemic. She paid $4.15 million for that property. And you know what she's done today? She has repositioned that property to have a value of $6 million. And she's going to tell you how she did it. Here's what I want you to know about Hannah. Her goal is to purchase more and more properties, going bigger on the size. Yeah, 66 is just a starting point for her. She wants to be into properties that have at least 100 units on the property. I mean, 200 units doesn't scare. 400 units doesn't scare. None of that scares her because she understands how everything works. She fully understands how to improve those communities. She fully understands how to continue growing the profit potential of that particular property. Because one of the things Hannah knows how to do extremely well, is to manage. Yeah, she learned on the inside working for Lifestyles Unlimited members who taught her everything that they learned from the Lifestyles Unlimited community and then encouraged Hannah to become a member herself. And I will tell you, I've been watching Hannah go through this journey, and it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. I believe that Hannah is positioning herself to become very wealthy very soon. And that's a far cry from where she was before she became a member of Lifestyles Unlimited. As a matter of fact, it's a far cry from where she was before she made a decision to go into property management and found that connection with a Lifestyles Unlimited member. Yeah, Hannah comes from that background of you need to work really hard to be successful. And you know what? She does. But now she works smarter, not harder. I'll tell you what. You got to sign up for a case study tonight. Call 866-945-6565. Tell them you want to be in a case study. They'll get you connected. Or just go to lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com and get signed up for a free workshop.
The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.